No, I don't see that.
No, we're not. Okay. I think we are now, though. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Fracking the Hoard with Hayfrosells, Primo Kimo, and lastly but not leastly, my lovely life. Lovely life. My lovely lice. What's her name? I forgot already. Spam Banshee. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're here to talk about things and stuff and whatnot, and I had a hard time getting us up on the internet, so I'm glad I made it in not too long. And this is not fashionably late. This is...
Hi, Gina.
This is like as if we had possibly a minor inconvenience on the way to get to an appointment. So we're only 7 minutes late.
Well, you know what? We pushed our schedule back because Josh was late.
That's right. Josh was late, and we have to listen to him from end to end. And I was actually listening to him when I had to call you to get ready. So, yeah, it's his fault.
Yeah, let's just blame it on Josh, right? What is that from?
That's Price is Right.
That's right. It was bothering me last night because I was watching. You know how I was late to your guys' show yesterday, so I was rewatching it, the part that I missed late last night because I wanted to get caught up.
Well, and you heard that and was like, what is that from? I have a whole bunch of... Bridget actually has this little gadget back, but because I was running late, I couldn't get it to turn on. Although it looks like it...
Darn.
Look how it kind of looks like it's on.
Oh, weird.
So, I don't know. It's probably broken.
I have sound effects.
But she doesn't.
When I was watching you guys, there's something I got to say to you.
What?
Are you ready?
Oh, no. What is it?
Are you ready?
No, what?
I love you two both. Because you said yesterday you were talking about some people, and then Spam in the background goes, and Hayfro. And you're like, oh, yes, I love Hayfro. So I just want to know I love you guys as well.
Awesome.
How do you do that? I've never done that.
I don't do it right. Mine's like it. I'm trying to do the Bieber one.
The Bieber.
Yours looks like a Big Mac.
It is a Big Mac. It's exactly what it is. Because my heart is a Big Mac. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and sesame seed bun. Welcome, everybody, to the Fracking the Hoard podcast, where we get together coast to coast coverage. Yeah, Hayfrosells, and we already introduced ourselves, so we don't have to do that again. But we can introduce Hayfrosells again because he's awesome and we love him. It's love, everybody. And we have Gina, and look, and Hayfrosells is in the chat already. And
I'm on it.
We are being overwhelmed by chattage. What's the first thing that comes to your mind that would be worth talking today? Would it be what Josh was talking about earlier when he brought up the administratively ending ending items?
Well, he corrected himself, and he.
But did that scare you? Did your heart jump for a second?
It does, but it also kind of wouldn't surprise me to some level.
Because we're expecting the other shoe to drop and get rid of nuclear reset, or any reset for that matter. But I don't think that's not what happened. That was just a mistake by him, because he was saying that eBay is going to administratively end your auctions if you suck at selling. But here's the one thing. Just let me say, the one thing that I noticed immediately was this is about export. It's the site is Export eBay. And if you have been selling on international eBay international shipping, they have been like, you send it to us, we are covering everything. You will never hear from that seller again. If you sell them a brick, we're going to pay them back. If you're not going to ever hear any negative thing from the buyer, sorry. And that was, I think, to get eBay international shipping rolling. And now they're introducing the true measures. So yeah. Do
you think that they saw how people were packaging things, and because they have to open it?
I think, well, yes. No, I didn't think of that. But yes, now I do. Now that you mention that. Yeah, because they get it first, right? Yes. And they're like, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true? Because we package the same way.
I'm just distracted by that.
Oh, you want me to make that go? Oh, there, it's gone now.
Yeah, I want.
Oh, let's look at our amazing statistics from yesterday's video. It was pretty amazing. I do. Nope, don't leave that. Oops, almost.
So is it?
Killed us.
It's not just for international. It's for the whole site, right?
Well, it is on. So if you search on the Google for December 11th eBay policy, which is what I searched for, and it says starting December 11th, sellers will be evaluated on the number of transactions with bad buyer experiences. If you click on that, this site is export.ebay.com. It is not. It says export is the main. It's export.ebay.com. So I do think it is specifically speaking about international shipments. But being that we already had 5-star DSRs and all that stuff going here forever, and the fact that I do ship eBay international shipping and have had issues mostly with stuff getting through eBay international shipping to Germany was like the big problem, right? You can say stuff.
I know.
Thank you.
I'm listening. I didn't hear Josh's show, so I'm just hearing this for the first time. I'm not really sure what's going on.
They're just talking about that they're going to be implementing starting December 11th. Sellers will be evaluated on the number of transactions.
Okay, that's sort of what we've been talking about the past, eliminating
bad
sellers.
But I think particularly what this is they're stopping to do that. Just you ship it to us, we take care of everything else, because that's how they sold eBay international shipping from the beginning of that. 6 months ago is when they did it, maybe, or they started to switch us over from GSP.
I think the one thing that I was surprised about is that he said that they're going to be evaluating people every Wednesday, once a week. That seems like a bit much.
I missed that piece of comment. I choose to believe that was also him saying that erroneously. I can't imagine. So maybe they're just. There's every Wednesday.
Or maybe not every Wednesday. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but at least it was every week. Every week you would be reevaluated. So if you fell below a certain metric, you would have the chance to get back. But I mean,
I've never fallen
all of this
below.
Stuff is common sense.
I think absolutely true. Those of us who actually take our eBay stores and lifestyle seriously, I don't think we're affected by this at all, because I'm not going to change a thing to comply with this because I couldn't.
Yeah, there's nothing more I could do.
Yeah, we're both superheroes of packaging and customer experience. And I'll just mention it again because I'll just self-promote my silly little video. The first one I made on YouTube was about packaging. And I think the title is something, make your customer your best friend. And it's literally my ethos of
your mantra.
My mantra. It's like, I am going to, because I opened a package yesterday that was wrapped in old paper towels. Wasn't the worst experience I've ever had. That was people's smoked cigarette butts or something were in the package for some reason. And but the fact that we have some comments. The fact that shipping is they know what they're buying. Hopefully you're describing it right. But the experience is when they're opening the package. Maybe not everybody cares as much, but when I get something, it's like a present. It's birthday, Christmas.
Can you reiterate what's going on? Valerie McKee is saying, we missed all of this. Where is this reevaluation info coming from? And I want a better understanding as to how you're connecting it to international shipping.
Oh, just because Josh Galt did a moment on this. I also see that before Josh did it, Tech and Sports did one. So I'm not sure the source of the immediate of the press release, so to speak, the YouTube release of the information is a policy that's starting on December 11th. If you go
like for the best buying experience is what they were calling it.
They're calling it Service Standard Policy Bad Buyer Experience Rate. And when you look that up on Google and go to it, which I just searched for December 11th eBay policy, and it brought this up. It's on the eBay export site. So that's why.
Oh,
and
I see.
Because we already have DSRs, I don't see why they'd be. I don't see anything that could be added unless they're going to take them more seriously. I don't see that we already have them 5 stars and everything. Where we don't have them is on our international shipments.
So because it's eBay export, that's why it's connected to the international sales.
This is a jump I'm making, but I think it probably has to be that.
It's a logical jump, and I mean we're kind of left with having to interpret some of this stuff too.
Yes, and I think that having a really good best practices basically shields you from most of this stuff. It's like, sure, roll out all the policies you want, unless I have to like wear, you know, a top to bottom spandex or something. And like, is that going to get me higher placement? I'll do that too, but I don't think that they're ever going to do anything weird like that. But if you just use the common sense, as you say, now common sense isn't that common always.
And then if you could explain the reevaluation that was overheard by Josh Galt.
Yeah, Josh said that he was reading through and that they were going to do an evaluation every week of your metrics, which just seems a bit excessive. But
it does, but maybe that would keep it
more up to date.
Yeah, current. So if you're starting to, you know, jump off a cliff with your service metrics, they'll catch it. Gina, vintage paper towel empty rolls? No, actually vintage paper towels. Can you? Oh no, I think we went to the garbage. I threw them away. Sorry. But they were actually like vintage brawny paper towels with like 70s or 60s blue flowers along the side, and these were not like modern flowers. It was very vintage, and it smelled like
Windex almost.
Windex,
like
and
they had been used with
deteriorating.
Windex.
I don't know what it was. But
well, they're just being very efficient. They're using the paper, and then they're
saving the planet.
They're double using it.
That's right. And I think that you know, once you dry out a paper towel, is it not just a brand new good paper towel again? And I think the other thing that I actually was okay with was the fact that I'm like, maybe these are the actual paper towels Grandma wrapped these candles up in, because they were old candles. And I'm like, well, that's pretty sweet. They have the original. So I'm going with that just to make myself feel better.
You see Good Karma Antiques. They said they got a positive feedback with the comment that there was no thank you card.
What?
For a $15 purchase. We don't do thank you cards. I'm wondering if that buyer is also a seller and they put in thank you cards, because I've heard mixed.
Never put in a thank you card.
Mixed reviews on putting thank you cards.
I blow a couple kisses in there and that's it. I'm not going full jammer on there. I mean, because that's talk about wasting paper and stuff. It's like, what is my perfect packaging? Is my positive customer experience, buyer experience not enough for you? Now I got to like give you a back rub.
I feel like there's like, it goes to extremes. There's the people that package things poorly, and then the buyers that expect things that they shouldn't be expecting.
Yeah, and I'm not down. So I'm going.
I've never put a thank you card.
Can you imagine? Well, I think probably you know, everything seems to be equated to a category. So maybe there is a category like you know, if you're selling you know, sewing accessories. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but maybe they want a thank you card. Maybe somebody buys doilies, vintage doilies, needs a card. You know what? I don't think this is far enough back. That's why it looks so weird.
Oh. Well, I was just thinking, you know, big companies don't really put thank you cards in purchases, and they can afford it more than
you know what a thank
eBay
you is?
sellers.
Is the person ships it out the next day, and it gets to me, you know, eventually. But if I can see it tracking that, like in 1 or 2 days at the most, I feel really good about the experience.
Yeah.
I guess I have to read the.
Totally off topic.
Yeah.
I downloaded my category sales spreadsheet the other day. It shows you basically what categories you sell.
Yep.
Guess how many categories I've sold in here.
It shows you all of them, or just like the top few?
12.
No, it shows you all of them.
Oh. I don't know how many. I don't know how many I do, so I wouldn't even know how to guess. But I'll say 30.
214.
Stop. How do you
There's
do
that many categories?
There's even that many categories? I don't even remember that.
Well, I mean, that's including subcategory. It breaks it down to like all these different subcategories as well. I couldn't believe it. So I guess I really am an everything seller.
You're covering the spread, which is good.
Yeah.
Now they only with the 50,000 free shipping, the zero insertion fees, they're only 15 or a dozen categories for that.
But I am going to be whittling that down now with the reset. Now that certain categories don't fit in certain things, I am going to be actively deciding which market I like, which site, which local sales, and things that where I want to.
What are your choices now? I know that there's Macari and Poshmark.
Well, for me, I personally I list on Marketplace, Craigslist, and then there's an app here called Carrot, like the vegetable.
Yeah.
Carrot.
And,
okay.
I have success with it. Sites I don't have any success with are Kijiji.
That's Canadian.
And there's another one. So those are all local sales. But then
Good Karma. Oops, sorry, that's really loud. Good Karma Antique says doesn't see any likes yet. Thank you very much. Yes, please, everybody like this.
I have 2 eBay stores. I sell on Hip Comics for things that I can't sell on eBay for adult, and then District.
Okay, so that's 4 sites, if I counted right.
4 sites online, and then three local.
So how are you enjoying the District experience so far, as just onboarding and?
I'm enjoying it. I've never listed with the app on eBay, and it's very easy to use on the District app. Like it's just as easy to use on that as it is on the Carrot app that I use, and I'm enjoying it. Like they're responsive when I have questions, and they're very open to suggestions, and yeah, I'm liking it. The one thing I really like is when you list an item, it shows you the price of what you're listing it for. It shows you the administrative fee that the District is getting, and then the marketplace fee. And then it shows you exactly how much you're going to make. There's no, I think as eBay sellers, we kind of put it out of our minds, and maybe not, but where all the fees are coming from as far as final value fees off of the shipping, the promoted fees off of the price, the shipping, the taxes. Like when you see the difference in District versus what you're going to get when you sell versus what you get when you sell something on eBay, it's night and day.
Well, I mean, eBay's been around for a while, and they've got to, and they do a lot with the metrics and to give you pretty colors and kind of social engineer you with all the data points you get. With the one that comes to mind is the return on ad spend, ROAS, where they don't tell you that if you only advertise, this is a promoted listing piece here. If half your store is promoted listings and half of it isn't, the return on ad spend is factored in on all of your sales. It actually it includes organic items in the calculation for your return on ad spend. So if you sell a bunch of organic items that are not promoted listings, it still counts them towards your percentage of return on your ad spend. So anyway, eBay gives you so much items, they charge you 1,000 different ways, but really they're kind of giving you a bit of a snow job, I guess is maybe the term. But but District is so fresh and new that everything's so clear and clean. Yes. And they haven't mucked it up yet.
I'm not so naive that I don't see the difference between the two. But at the same time, it's like when you're talking about all that stuff with ROI and a lot of the back office stuff, sometimes I just think eBay there's just too much going on in the back office for like a normal, ordinary seller to actually use.
I agree.
I'm just trying to. I can't see where. You do have.
It's just so much information for people to try to comprehend, and it can get overwhelming, and then people just don't bother because it can be too confusing.
So, let me tell you, I went to a comic show a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty. It's a small community, and I know a lot of people there who also sell on eBay, and when I compare my conversations with them to my conversations that I have with, say, you or Josh or the people in this community, these people aren't even promoting. They're like so to think that they're going to go in the back office and look at the different marketing things. Like, they're like, I'm not giving eBay anymore.
Right.
I have to believe that there's a large segment of eBay buyers or eBay sellers that don't use that stuff. And I think it's just too overwhelming. Like, when I think of eBay going into the pay-per-click and off-site promotions, it seems like it takes away from what we're here to do. Source, list, ship, repeat.
We're very, I feel very sophisticated now that we've got now, because before June, June was the night and day. I never looked at my numbers before June. Well, that was when I had the big fall off the cliff. Some people had it in April, but never looked at that. And so I started going on YouTube and that's where I first saw James, and he was going through these numbers. And I think that's where I gleaned most of like how to even read these numbers, because I never looked at them. I was like, that's a bunch of junk. Who needs that? I'm printing money over here before June. I felt like I was. And I was sort of, compared to now where I'm like scraping money up. But let me just read a couple comments, because there are quite a few. Because Gina's here, and Mike Unknown. You've seen Mike Unknown sometimes, right?
No.
Okay, Mike Unknown was called Mike Unknown. Now he's Good Karma Antiques because he wants to be known. So he's no longer Mike Unknown.
He wants to brand.
Yes. So he is Good Karma Antiques, which is a great name. I think that sets you off on the right foot. Get on the good foot, as James Brown says. And then Gina says, yes, to spend more time talking about y'all, James and Josh. Wait, I'm James and that's Jeff. What do you mean, James and Josh? Well, maybe James and Josh. Maybe. I wonder what that is. Can you clarify just so we know we're number one? Yes, okay, that I didn't understand. Looking into a vintage paper towel on eBay. Anyone think this is a viable business? Right? If you could sell a used paper towel that had a certain pattern on the side and it reminded somebody, I feel like I could sell those for like $5 a piece. Okay, and then we got to the Valerie's comment, and then Good Karma said that was the $15 thing with no because he didn't throw in the thank you card. And Gina said she watched yesterday but couldn't see them clearly, but just wait. Will you get the empty rolls instead of the pool noodles? Well, I think that, if that was a good way to ship something, like maybe a candle could go in a paper towel tube or something. There might be a reason to use something like that, or use paper towels. This was sort of like, this could have been a bad experience for me, and it wasn't.
I don't think I would ever use a paper towel, because I wouldn't want my buyer to think it's been used.
Well, it was used. I mean, was it used for 20 years to hold these candles? Like that, it could, because it was wrinkled. It smelled like Windex. It was not ideal. And then I started thinking, Good Karma Antique says he sprinkles Good Karma into all his packages.
He also said up at the other comment that usually a $100 sale gets a thank you card.
Oh, he's got to have a cutoff. I see. Well,
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I'm not going to ever buy those because I have to buy other stuff. I buy these huge rolls of, I don't think we have any right here. No, we don't. Huge rolls of foam, brand new foam that costs a lot of money. That's how
It's like $300 a roll or something.
It's $300 for a 6 foot tall. So if you get it 12 inches thick, that's $300. If you get it 18 inches thick, that's $300.
Wait, what is it?
Foam rolls. And there may be 4 feet wide, big, and they're 550 feet of an eighth inch thick foam, and they come bundled in either 5s or 4s. So if it's 18 inch, there's 4 of them. If it's 12 inches wide, it's 5 of the rolls. And those, they last a really long time, but it's expensive at $300, a huge, big pile of them, of the 4 or 5 rolls.
It would be expensive.
But last year we went through 4 bundles. I call them bundles. So that was $1,200 in packaging. This year we haven't gone through.
That's when we were selling all of the
things.
computers and.
Yeah. So
for
instance, here's my. This is something that's going on eBay soon. Just a little thing. I used to sell a lot more of this stuff, but.
Holy man! See, that's what I'm trying to get out of selling these big, heavy stuff like that.
I don't mind it because I got a lot of it. And thank you.
Well, I'm just thinking long term for my business model. I kind of want to, with shipping continuing to go up.
Yes.
I want to get out of that game. I will ideally want to get out of anything over £1 in time, but.
This is what we did this year. This is why we were putting up the 45 records and the video game cartridges and big box DOS video games, and because we thought, well, let's do mostly that stuff. Get all of the smalls, the fracking the hoard. That's what that means. It's trying to sell small stuff out of your pile rather than the big stuff. But we can barely survive on the small stuff. But it is a very our numbers have not increased since, I don't know, for months. That little number keeps going up saying you're 26% more than you made this period last, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The number pretty much stays the same, like how much we're selling.
You mean the quantity or dollar?
Year.
Oh, way down from last year.
See, I'm gonna blow your mind because it blew my mind. I'm actually up 13% now.
That's what it says. It's lying to you because I'm gonna tell you what mine says too. It's a big lie.
I would rather it lie to me and say that than lie to me and say I'm down.
I know. Well, I don't think it's. Yeah, okay, let's see. Well, let me.
But I'm working harder for my money.
Way harder, right?
I'm making less per transaction because of promoted listings.
So how do I find that? What's the easiest way? So I go to sales and then
I've also made a shift in my business model that I'm selling more locally. I'm selling so much more locally.
And that's great. And that's on Facebook Marketplace
or Craigslist, yeah. And that's on eBay because I would never have done that had they not forced me to.
So sales are this. So if I went to this year compared to same period last year, my sales are up 0.9%.
So you're comparing from January of this year until now to January of last year till
yes.
So you're up. I mean, you're up a little.
That's a laughable amount of up.
Well, but in this environment, that's a win?
It's green.
Right, but the net sales is down.
Net sales are down 3.9%.
How can you be up but your net sales be down?
It has to be the promos.
It was the promos this year because we went crazy on promos. So it's showing the selling costs are 24.5% of my sales, which is, I don't know how I compare that to last year. I would have to prep this a little more to figure out how to do that exactly. And because we have switched our business model to lower priced items, well, smaller items, which are generally overpriced compared to like a TSR-80 computer, our average sales per item is down 44% to $60 from what was $107. And our quantity sold is up 82%.
So that just shows you we were selling a lot of high-priced items last year.
So double the work. If that's up, I mean, the quantity sold means how much I have to work, right? So so the amount of work is up 82%.
That's incredible.
For a 0.9% return. Again, I will say that all the nuclear reset and everything, and I'm not really accounting for a little bit of ups and downs, and we've had some great days and other things, but for the most part, our income per month has stayed the same, and including up until now. So if I just want to do, maybe just do this quarter and narrow it down to that.
So my two stores, my store, I'm up 6.7%. My selling costs are 16.5%.
Wow. Okay.
It says my total sales are up 8.1%. So
is that for the year?
That's from January 1 until now.
Do this quarter, because I'll read you the depressing numbers from this quarter.
Okay, this quarter. I'm up 24%.
You're up?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm down 14%. 24.9% is about the same selling costs.
On my other store, I'm up 13.8%.
Wow. But we're only down net sales. We're only down 11.3% compared to 14% total sales. So we actually gained a little traction on there. Our quantity sold is only up 4%, and our average price per sale has taken another dive, which is okay at 17.
What's your selling costs?
Selling costs are 24.9%.
So you were promoting very heavily, given the fact that you're not promoting at all, and your selling costs are still high.
They are, and I don't know that you have a shipping difference than me, because although I give really good shipping rates, I'm guessing that I pay more in shipping, because that would include shipping, I think, the selling costs.
Oh, I do my shipping off of eBay.
But don't you do some in the just regular mail if it's in Canada, or
some? Yeah. Yes.
So that could affect that a little bit.
That's true.
Because if you don't have to charge that much, you're not collecting that much, and this shows what I'm collecting. Now, because of Ground Advantage, I'm making $1 a shipment, as opposed to before Ground Advantage, where I lost at least $1 per shipment.
Emmy J says that she uses her eBay coupons for cards and stickers. I use mine for tape and poly mailer.
Me too.
Yeah, same here.
I use bubble poly mailers and tape. Yep. Maybe we should look at this a little bit. I can't believe I'm back on here. It feels like just 24 hours I was talking like a whole bunch, and now here I am.
The thing about cards and thank you cards is it's not even the cost of them. It's just having to do one more step.
With a little I'm not sure of the value of it exactly, but I don't.
You know what I heard too is, I forget who it was, but if you're sending a book, somebody put a sticker inside it, and it was shipped media mail, and the post office opened it, and they said because there was that sticker in there, that it disqualified it.
Oh, Mike, because it was advertising. You're not allowed to have advertising in media mail.
So it's possible if you had a card and you wrote something in there, maybe advertising, maybe you were. Oh my
gosh,
maybe you were sharing another website. I mean, like, for example, one thing I'm going to be doing is, as I sell things to my customers on eBay, and as I build my district marketplace, I'm going to be including information in there for them to go there.
Just don't use media mail. I don't anyway. I never use media mail ever, because I don't believe in media mail. But and the value of it is not that great with Ground Advantage for sure. So
well, I definitely notice the heavier, like over 2 pounds or 3 pounds, there's actually not that much of a difference these days between Ground Advantage and media mail.
No, there's not.
Around a pound or under 1.5 pounds, there's a huge difference still. But
is there? Okay.
You can tell the post office is slowly trying to phase out media mail.
Well, it's junk anyway. And I have, on the few occasions that I have done it because there was such a big difference, and it was a book, the book made it to California in 3 days, which was faster than something else I sent, which was interesting. I don't know what that means, because usually it gets lost in media mail for like 3 weeks.
You know what? People diss media mail. I do sell books and CDs, and I do sell media, and I've never had any problems with it.
Wait, I want to pull us down a little bit because I want to see the angels' faces a little better.
I just want to point out that Gina was talking about you.
Wah, wah,
you guys.
Thank you, Gina. Appreciate that.
And then
I used, okay, that's the eBay. Emma J was saying, MJ, sorry. Coupons for the stickers and cards. And then Good Karma says, I got lucky and found a big box of cards at an estate sale, so super cheap. Don't put them in media mail or they're going to bust you. Because they have dogs that sniff out advertising. MJ says, I have a lot of 45s to sell, but I'm overthinking how to list them, grading, etc. But I see many successful sellers just take pics and list. So I'll just, if you don't mind, I'll take a second and just say best practices on that are you can go to Discogs and see what collectors want to see. They basically want to trust your grading of the record, and they want to see a close-up of the label so they can see all the different, because they collect based on different words on the label sometimes.
I will say this. If you're selling 45s, you should talk with JL Stanton. He's going to be starting a marketplace with 45s as well on District.
Yeah.
He's an expert in that. He's very strict in grading, and he's one of the top sellers on eBay in that category. So
let me ask you an insane question. This is insane, but it did pop into my mind. So, oh my gosh. What? So my big thing about District is that you open up a marketplace and people come sort of into your marketplace, and you sort of are responsible for the marketplace and the quality of the marketplace. So would he be willing or able, or is this, it is insane. Like, would he accept a big box of 45s from one of the people selling underneath him? Grade them.
Would he accept?
So would he be willing to have MJ send her box of 45 records to him, have him grade them? Next step is, does he get compensation for that? Or does he take pictures and put them up for her? She can get a cut. So you do sort of a...
I mean, you're essentially talking consignment.
Totally. That's exactly that's why it's insane. But is that a thing that might be something?
I know that he has a ton of stock. He has more stock than he knows what to do with it. So
probably doesn't want to deal with that extra work.
I mean, why I was suggesting, maybe I misread the comment. Is that what this person wanted to do?
No, not at all. I just made that up because I'm like, well, what if there's actually more opportunity in the District business? Like, maybe you could do consignment.
And I might add for MJ, you can go online too and get an understanding of the grading, what's acceptable for each grading. And
motorcycle
helpful.
dorks in the house.
Yes,
yeah.
motorcycle
Aloha.
dork.
And Jack is here too now. Welcome.
Oh, now Jack can answer that.
Jack, would you like to take 2,045s from me, grade them all, charge me a very low commission, and then list them for me and sell them? And you want to do that? I'm just waiting for... He's probably looking for the appropriate emojis to the flip off emoji or something. Grading is paramount. Well, that's the first thing he said. Also, I don't sell 45s anymore going forward that are less than $10. I have an antique booth for anything lower than that. You mentioned that to me. And I do.
Oh boy.
I do. That's true. The way we do it, just to get back to reality, in the grading, I have developed, and I know Hayfro here has done this. Just over time, you develop an eye for, like, he does comic books, like, can just do that. I have a hard time with comic books because I'm just looking at things from an overthinking position as opposed to really having an innate sense. But when you look at a 45, if that center ring has no scratches on it, that's near mint. Probably not necessarily, but look at that center ring. Is it mirrory? I mean, that's a nice quality record. So you could go with very good plus or near mint. I'm not sure that does anything for you, but you can pick up tips to grade things properly. And then Jack said he would lose money doing consignment. Which,
and MJ's not interested in consignment anyhow.
Nobody likes my idea. I was just wondering, was there more space in that? Because it's kind of like a antique mall where you have relationships with other people in the antique mall. I don't know. I just thought about that because there's like, you do a thing where you press comic books for people sometimes.
Yeah, I do. I do that for local dealers.
And that's that's kind of like the grading thing. One time I did get a whole big bunch of comic books, maybe one of my first big buys of 1960s comic books, superhero comic books. And they were red, but they weren't terrible. and I took them to that lady that was in downtown Burlington, Christine something, a really big time dealer. DC Comic Books came to her to find certain issues because they couldn't find them, and she had a a huge walk-in refrigerator humidifier thing for her comic books. She was that crazy. I think she passed away, but I'm not positive. Quarterstaff Books, what was it called?
Yeah.
Earth Prime Comics. Earth Prime Comics. I don't know if anyone's heard of that.
I want to respond to Gina's comment right now.
Yeah, I do.
She's asking if I want her to email before signing up on my district link. You can just sign up. You can just go to Hey Pop Culture, HAY Pop Culture, and sign up. But if you primarily sell 45s, I would recommend you joining Jack's marketplace when he gets up, because he's going to be bringing in customers who buy 45
records. Right.
If you sell other things that are in the pop culture realm, which is a very broad category, then we need to have a conversation if that's what you want. I don't know what percentage of your inventory is 45.
And it's,
I was just going to say MJ was the one talking about 45s, but did you see Hayfro, how she said that she did get approved to sell under someone else on district, but I feel like you would put more effort and a personal touch into district Hayfro.
Well, I would definitely put more personal touch. Like I want to be able to help people as well.
Yeah.
I just lost my thought here.
District is great. That's your thought.
Well, I did take some show notes.
Awesome.
I wanted to talk about a few things.
Yes, please.
I feel like in the community, we're coming out of a very negative 6 months and I think people...
Grim, for sure.
And you and I, we've talked about this on Messenger about how, people are desiring more positive content right now. I think for the most part, as sellers, we've accepted the changes that eBay is making, and we're trying to move forward from there. Are you hearing me okay?
Yeah, I hear you fine. Yeah. Okay.
So we're learning how to do the things to survive on eBay. We're cross-listing, and we need to determine what is the best course for each particular seller. So my question to you is, I think people are are afraid of cross-listing because of the effort that initially is needed to require to see an impact in your sale. Would you agree with that?
What do you think?
I mean, for me personally, cross-listing seems a little intimidating. I know that sounds
weird.
Word.
No, that's a good word. Yeah.
I feel like
I'm afraid of messing
we're so
something up.
comfortable with eBay. And quite frankly too, we put so much time and effort into every eBay listing, and we discuss how we really need to speed up our process. But for me, I am just so particular with the photos and with cleaning everything so that it looks like as brand new as possible. And it's so time consuming. And I know that I would be using those same photos for other platforms. But I'm just like, it takes already so much time to just do eBay for me. I can't imagine now also doing these other platforms too. But the whole point in doing this is to earn or get money. So.
Velocity, as Josh Galt says, it's the velocity of money. So it's like we do need to sell faster.
I feel we need to, but I feel
I'm just scared
of
double list of selling something twice. And that's my fear. It's kind of like one of those existential fears. It's like I just feel like it's if I do cross list, I'm going to do that sort of thing.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and that's going to be a question that I want to ask the audience. Or what are people's fears about cross listing? Because how many items do you list a day roughly?
We try to do 10. Or 10, or more. I mean, then those are not similar items.
If it's the same type of item, then we can get 40 or more up. So if it's a whole bunch of, video games, I just have one setup and I'm like, click, 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 get them up, or records, click, click, click. But when
I'm off getting my nails done, she's getting 40 up.
Seriously, yes.
See, I'm thinking, so right now I am listing some of the things on District that I'm listing on eBay, but I'm also only listing certain things on District that I'm not listing on eBay. Like the things that fit in the categories that I don't get free categories with eBay, I'm going to just start listing those on District. Right?
And that's what kind of turned my mind when you mentioned that to me the other day. Was like, oh, great. Well, if I don't have to list the same things, I don't have to technically cross list. I can take my lower or my whatever items I discern it will be better to be in, like, say, the pop culture store. That would be a good way to do it, and it wouldn't technically be cross posting.
Well, I think we broadly use cross list, and we think, okay, of Vendu and those things that you're taking one item, spreading it out. That's one business model, but there's another business model where you only list things on certain sites. So, for example, if I'm only listing certain items on Hey Pop Culture, then I can technically try to upsell my eBay customer on those items. If they were the same, there's no point.
Well, don't you see sometimes people who list on Amazon and eBay, they'll have the same pictures, the same everything, but different prices. And that's kind of a turnoff to me. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it's kind of, I find it to be weird that there's different prices on different marketplaces. So as you're saying,
I've done that before. Does it work? Sometimes you don't know. I mean, I know in Amazon, I used to sell on Amazon a long time ago. And I kind of I'm talking like 10 years ago, because I found that I could get higher prices for certain books, but they also take like 30%.
Yeah.
So you have to charge more.
I was just going to say that the prices vary probably depending on what the platform is taking as from your sale. But I do want to just say hi to Kent and
Kent Hamilton is in the house saying what's up, Kimo and Fro. And this is Spam Banshee. And Gina says she does cross list of 4 sites.
Haas. Hi, Haas.
Haas Cartwright just wanted to say hi. He's in the house. He's in from the Ponderosa. And Jet Fixer is here. Yes. So big air horn to you all.
So Jet says Shopify, here we come. Shopify is essentially
it's a website.
Am I understanding this correctly? It's essentially just your own store.
It's your own store. They do some advertising just to advertise. You might have a couple things that might pop up on Google search, but for the most part, you have to do your own promotions. And Disgruntled Octopus is here. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome from the place down under where the octopi live.
Humans.
Oh, yes. Look at that. The fees on each platform determine my listing price. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess that's how you do it. And we did one time try using something, right, as a cross lister.
Wait, Sputnik Monkey is it's so funny. I've invented the Big Bang reset. I start a new eBay account for every product I sell. Now that's not that funny. I mean it is funny, but it's not the worst thing, as we are starting to determine possibly that they're geo fencing. Like maybe there's something to the geo theory where they're when you're on the East Coast, you're selling to the East Coast. Now you used to sell the whole world, but now you're just selling to the East Coast slices. And I was thinking, well, what if I get an address in California? I get an address and have different sites or different user accounts. And what I would do is put my like Apple computer stuff in the California site or the West Coast site. I would not use the same items, but I would. Wait, somebody named Hayfrosells just commented. So Gina, Emma, or anybody? Yes. So,
I'm just responding to them.
No, I like that because I'm not. I'm doing it with my voice. but I can't keep up with everything. It goes so fast. So wait, where were we? What were we talking about?
You were talking biofencing.
Oh, the geo fencing, where this is what I was talking about yesterday, and Josh Galt was talking about previous to my show about the fact that they're throttling sales, and one of them is for service metrics, one of them is for growth, so you don't grow too much, and the thing that I was adding to that was they're throttling our sales by geo fencing us. So if it's a common item and there's a lot of them in California, they're not going to show the Californians my Vermont items because there's too many of them already in California. They can pick from one of those. It's a rarer item.
I can when I was listening to you, the more I listened to you about that, it does make a lot of sense.
It does, especially when you see James and other people see their stores turn off at night, because I assume that traffic needs to be taken to Europe or Asia or somewhere else. I mean, it's a big guess, but it's not baseless.
And if it's true that our traffic is just turned off, what more reason do you need to show you the importance of diversifying?
There's nothing.
It doesn't have to be cross-listing, but it has to be like diversifying. Like for now, like because of what eBay did, I literally source items to resell local when I'm out at garage sales and things where I wouldn't have done that before. I would only been looking for things to resell on eBay. Knowing that I feel that I'm limited in what I can make on eBay, if I want to make more, if I want to give myself a rate, I need to pursue other avenues.
And I think that the intricacy of not technically cross listing, but
just expanding.
Yes, diverting certain items to different platforms that's probably our future. I mean, when you
it's less stressful too. It's less stressful because you don't have to worry. So right now, I do list on District some things that I list on eBay, and so I put a note in my eBay SKU that this is on District, and then I put a little note in the description for District that it's on eBay. They don't have a SKU feature, but they've heard enough people, they're going to be adding that.
Okay.
And as my District sales go up, I will, because I just launched the marketplace yesterday. So as those sales start to go up, I will stop double listing them. It's a balancing act right now, and that's something that I choose to do. But I'm looking forward to the time when I'm only listing certain things on District.
So, is this what? Are we just coming to terms with what? What's the CEO of eBay? What's his name? Jamie. Are we going? Aha! But this was his thing all along. We're trying to get rid of low value items and sellers. Value items from the site. This is maybe what he wants us to do. Yes. Therefore, leaving the cool collectibles, the more one-offs, some of the more treasure type items on the eBay platform, and taking our, depending on the traffic. So District, I have to assume, is going to take time to build up the traffic in order to see the sales that we want to see there. But eBay has the traffic. And most certainly, if I put up this TSR80, as I just showed you, that's going to get lots and lots of hits, and it will sell. So if my price is right, that thing's going to sell within a couple days. And so that's what eBay has been wanting to do, and they're just making us know that, and now like it was our choice to leave.
I think we're entering an era, and maybe this is not even. I shouldn't even be saying this as it's like some profound knowledge, but I think it's going to be more imperative to list certain things on certain sites. For example, Facebook Marketplace. Know who's on there.
and we lost your audio.
Oh, it's us. He can't hear us.
You can't hear us. Nobody can hear anybody.
That I can't.
Oh,
listen
you're back.
to.
You're back. Sorry.
Oh, I was gone.
Yeah, we lost you. I turned off my little heater down here, and then because I was getting hot, and then you disappeared. But now you're back. So let's
blame him.
Yeah. So Gina says we lost sound for a second too. So we are back.
Okay.
So just start that.
Sorry.
All right, I'll start over.
Okay.
I think what I'm kind of coming to terms with is that there's certain marketplaces that you sell certain items on. For example, Facebook Marketplace. A lot of women shop on there. Home decor, health and beauty, clothing will do well on there. On Craigslist, a lot of men shop on there. Outdoor, garden, sports, like sports stuff, furniture on there. On eBay, I will sell. There will always be certain things that I will always sell on eBay, but there are going to be other things that I'll only sell on District. And I think knowing your markets are going to be so important.
Yes. No. I am becoming a disciple of your thinking with that, and it's the only thing that you can do. We are left when they start tying our hands as they have on eBay. Well, assuming they've tied our hands, perhaps even with this DSR thing that they're going to implement internationally, or maybe enforce even stronger nationally, maybe that's going to be what they promised at one point. Jamie said, stick around. I promise you it's going to be better, if you are able to stick around, as they do get rid of the low quality sellers. And because there are a lot of them, and there's too many sellers anyway. So purging, that's the best thing that could ever happen. At the same time, does this even make sense? What was I going to say? At the same time, no, I don't have anything else to add to that. I agree with you. We're going to have to choose we're going to have to be more sophisticated and choose our marketplaces. I feel like I used to do that, because we did used to do that. We did Marketplace and Craigslist. I used to use those. Right.
Over the past several months, though, I've heard people complaining on the thrifting board on eBay that Facebook Marketplace is not pulling in any sales for them.
Yes, Jack, you're totally right there. Sorry. Go ahead.
And I was just going to also say that our second eBay store has specific items that we don't want on our main eBay store. So we sort of use that as, a different...
The off listing.
Yeah.
They're not as cool, or they're maybe broken, but still, sold as broken or something, or old
like
vintage
sewing
Christmas lights,
patterns.
sewing patterns.
We don't have that on our, main store, because our main store is like stuff that we consider cooler,
to keep a vibe going.
Yeah, right.
But Jack said, and this is exactly what happened, Jack. He says that I disagree with eBay wanting the low items gone. I believe that eBay tried to throttle us. Yes, maybe 10 to 20%, but they screwed up and did it at 50. Whether or not that's a screw up or not, or that was part of the plan, that's exactly what happened. They 50% is what happened. They throttled us all down 50%. I don't know if everybody did that, but if you're going with the basic items that are not necessarily unique, but maybe you have higher quality ones than most people, but there's a lot of people selling the exact same thing, like a 45 record, for instance. They did kill those sales, and since that's what we've been focusing on this year, and not the higher price unique items, that's why we've seen a lot of this degradation of that, because we did drop sales about 50% and still sitting in a definitely not below 50%. Maybe, sometimes it's 40% less, but it's still around that chunk. But the second I list a high quality item, usually a vintage computer or some sort of vintage equipment or something, that's worth a lot of money, those do sell quickly still. So if I listed a bunch of those, I guess I would be able to make up that 50%. But we saw a drop of the baseline items by 50%. So I think that's 100% true. They tried to do 10 to 20, but they killed us by 50 because of something.
And Disgruntled Octopus is saying, I think that eBay wants a curated, exclusive
They do.
seller offering. I feel like there's truth to
We
that.
come from that our stores and the bricks and mortar type stores that I had were curation. What was I used some dumb terms. I'm like curation. I used 3C, collecting, curation, and something else. So I'm in tune to making like a store be very curated. And so that doesn't scare me. It's just taking my sales away scares me.
And someone said something about
I'm trying to read this.
implementing a VPN, and that could maybe help with geocaching.
I'm on a VPN.
But right, I mean, eBay looks at where you live, your zip code, not your VPN necessarily.
I'm not sure if anybody.
Right?
Probably where you're listed place.
Where it's located, your item is located.
Yeah.
So not necessarily the VPN for the geolocating.
If any of you are looking
geo.
for a good VPN, I would recommend, and they don't. I would like them to pay me, but they don't.
Do you use one?
I do use one, and I use a free one, which is free right now. If you guys don't mind giving more information to Google, it's called Google One VPN, and it's free now. For now, and I think they must be beta testing it or something, but it works, and it's good. I use a VPN mostly because I want to watch on like Sling TV. I want to watch San Francisco, CBS, and NBC. They don't let you. So I like to circumvent certain things like that. Jack said, "Hey, Fro and I will be working on marketing techniques and showing them to those in our marketplace." I get really excited when I hear you guys talk about it. I just want it to be awesome. That's all. That scares me because it's new. But the being able to really, really dial it in and have it be your own.
Well,
is
and you
neat.
know how you were saying you're worried about something selling at the same time to to different customers on two different platforms. Well, I'm just thinking that item that you got that you unpacked yesterday, the faceplate to the stereo.
Oh yeah, right.
And
I almost jumped off a cliff because it said it was going to be here on tomorrow, and when I went to go check the tracking was from 10 days ago when I had purchased it, and the guy uploaded tracking and it said it hadn't moved. So it was, 9 days later or whatever. And I'm like, hey, has this shipped yet? It says that it'll be here on Thursday. And he said to me, oh yeah, I shipped it right out after you said that. And I looked at his feedback. He had one neutral feedback. One. This is actually a little off topic.
Well, no, this is about the selling to somebody else, though.
Oh,
That's
that
I'm
part?
trying to tie that in.
Oh, okay.
Is that there was one neutral feedback that he had, and it was seller sold the
something.
item to someone else.
Yeah.
And who knows if it was sold on eBay to someone else, but probably on a different platform, I'm guessing.
knows? So I'm like, this guy just sold my cheap faceplate to somebody else and got more money for it.
So Primo is like seriously
ready to jump
jumping off the cliff, going, "Oh my God, he probably sold it to someone else. Oh no!" And I was like, "Just calm down, just wait." And what do you know? It ended up
down.
showing.
Don't be one of those buyers.
She had to give me the back
I
rub.
did. I took his little
I was
cheeks.
fine. I was
I was like, "It's okay. Don't stress
It
out
really
about
wasn't
this."
that bad, but it also kind of was because I bought it for $15 and it's worth $100, and I'm like, I need my super buy. Don't rip me off.
So two things to sort of think
and
about
I felt
here
really bad after I
is
got it.
one neutral feedback in a
enough to,
year
like,
time period for this person,
in
and
my
the
head.
rest were all positives. One neutral totally tainted his view of this seller. One neutral feedback.
That's not.
So that just really
I'm a bad buyer.
Well, that also shows how important it is to provide, top notch service.
I buy a lot of stuff on eBay and I don't have any problems. So when I got 2 things. One thing was fake. I made it up. So we don't count that one. And the other one was the paper towel thing. Other than that, everything has been blissful.
It is. But I'm just saying that one neutral feedback
Just
out of
sellers
hundreds,
remember that.
Concerned you and made
give
you
people
think.
a proper seller experience. Sometimes you can't avoid that. I have a lot of theories on getting rid of the feedback too, because we've never had one stick. Because they've always been a jerk, like somebody being jerky. So
the negative feedback.
The negative, yeah.
Yeah. But anyhow, so that that could have been an example of somebody that had something cross-listed and sold it on a different platform and mistakenly sold it to someone on eBay as well.
Oh, and Discord. I mean, District is going to have Discord. Are they going to have it built into the system? Is that?
I don't think. No, they're not going to have Discord. Discord is something totally separate.
Because they do have messaging. I saw messaging on the side and video, like a video something on the side of their. Now I got to look at it.
Are you talking about the live streams?
Yes, live streams.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it looks really cool, and like the development of it is. Very curious.
There are some really cool features to it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and I just feel like if we don't give this a chance, we're sitting there complaining about fees. We're complaining about the control that eBay has. We're complaining about promoted listings. Like,
but
open your mind a little.
But District is not owned by BlackRock or whatever, right? So there's.
I don't know where I heard this, but I heard 3 people who created Snapchat behind.
I think that is accurate. I think I looked that up too. And you know what I'm noticing here is that, except for this Dibdit, which I can't even pronounce, which is the Trash to Cash podcast guys have a
so
store
true,
up there. Dibdit.
It's almost tidbit backward. It just
tidbid. Yeah. But I'm noticing that there are a lot more people selling than there was just 2 weeks ago on here.
I just had 2 people apply to be sellers in my marketplace.
Awesome.
I just had one person I had to decline, but I do want to have a conversation with them because I don't think their product would really fit. They sell vintage jewelry, and I don't think that would be like I would rather see them in a marketplace that is featuring jewelry.
Well, they have like broad topics, so like sports cards, collectible, antiques, and then within that they have all the marketplaces, and within that they have all the sellers, right? That's how.
But if somebody said, it's like, let's say this particular, I declined it, but you can send a message to them, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't think it would be a fit product wise, but if in the future you decide you want to sell other products. Outside of what you are selling, which is what we were talking about, having certain products on certain sites, then we can have a conversation. But you have to think about your marketplace is not just being your market, like my marketplace. You got to be thinking of other sellers who want to come in, like Nash, who is a staunch viewer of my channel. He made a comment if District is allowed like adult themed material. Now, I don't know. And even if they were, I'm not going to sell that on my District marketplace because I don't want to offend any of my other sellers or buyers.
Yeah. What comes to my mind is, would you have multiple marketplaces if pop culture wasn't enough to encompass all the things you wanted to sell?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering that too.
No, I would only focus on one marketplace. I feel like if I wanted to, maybe I would just change what my marketplace is to encompass more things, but I don't really know if I want to do that either. Like, this is all brand new. Who knows what this is going to look like in 2 years, and who knows, but it's exciting. At least it's something to fill the time with when we're sitting there waiting for eBay sales.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that they're not sophisticated enough to be geolocating us and stuff. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Hayfro. Is it a personal choice for you to only sell pop culture things, or on District it is the marketplace shops are only focused to a certain kind of item?
Are you in collectibles? Like what is your marketplace under? Okay,
collectibles.
So
yeah, I was just trying to look at what I had and what I'm familiar with.
So there's antiques.
And
That's where you put the jewelry.
It is my choice, but I feel like it's a very broad category.
Oh, it is.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could have ET phones in there, home phones.
I mean,
you could,
yeah. I mean, I'm not an expert in electronics, so I don't think that would be fair to have that. I wouldn't be able to be listing those kinds of products.
So when you, in your particular pop culture marketplace, you're more paper items?
No, I mean, pop culture could be DVDs as well. It could be it could be clothing that is retro. It could be clothing that has, anything.
That makes sense.
But you're anti my Snoopy
so broad
phone.
If you think about it.
It is.
You don't want my Snoopy phone. So you don't want
that would
my
fit.
Okay,
a Snoopy phone would fit.
Okay, good.
Jet is so funny. He says, I could send someone a gold bar for $10 and they would still complain that it's too heavy and too shiny.
And it didn't get a thank you note. Damn it. That's awesome. eBay gods say sell higher value items. I mean, they do. But I know that's a whole that's a conversation that I feel like I've addressed a few times, but there's a value. So higher value items, and it's a semantics thing, but there's some peanut stuff. Nice.
Cute.
Love that.
That's it. This thing is from like 1970.
Yeah, I'm down on it. I'm down for that.
That's in great condition.
I know. I'm trying to see where
you can put all your little organizations. Well, Snoopy stuff often only has 1964 and 1956 or something copyrights. I never knew why that was, but they always have these old copyrights on them. But I like that organization. I would be on time if I had that organizer. But as far as the higher value items, I always just stop and say it's value. So it doesn't necessarily mean you can't sell a $10 thing. It just shouldn't be a crappy $10 thing. So I
agree. I actually don't think that it's low value because I sell lower, I sell higher. How were your sales yesterday?
Yesterday, I don't know. They're never good on Monday or Tuesday. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that, but I will look and see. My traffic is very normal with the nuclear reset. And my sales.
I had a pretty good day today. I double my target daily amount is. So that's a good day. And I haven't done the reset of my store in many, many days because I ran out of things.
Oh, right. And so, what's that say? That says that you don't all, maybe Q4
I think it's Christmas. I think it's
over.
Holiday sales.
Yeah, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it.
I'm kind of welcome the break from doing the reset.
The reset is tedious, if nothing else. But when it's all you've got, and I'm thinking to myself, so I do the reset every single day. By the way, thank you everybody for adopting the nuclear reset. Some people were a little wary of using the nuclear badge because of its connotations. But I figured it meant blowing things up, so that's what we did. And I'm glad that it does work for so many people. Question is, if you didn't do the nuclear reset every day, and it is now almost December, Q4 at its James did say he was down and couldn't believe it, but Q4 has to be somehow supporting part of the nuclear reset, right? Because it's staying. My numbers are staying so stable as far as page views, and I'm trying to tell you how much I made yesterday, but I can never find anything very quickly. That's why I have to do it all ahead of time.
I want to bring up how we don't have on our account, we don't have the auto payment set up for if somebody sends us an offer and we accept the offer. We don't have that set up. And
because that helps people buy more things.
I think it does, but also we have a customer that wanted to purchase a pretty expensive book from us, over $100.
Oh yeah.
And and said, hey, I really would like this book, but I'm unable to pay for it until the end of the month. Would you be willing to, accept an offer on it and then allow me to pay you tomorrow?
Have you ever had that go bad on you? I've never have. I've only done it a few times.
And we said yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were, of course, thank you for letting us know, opposed to someone that, would have.
It's a long tail item, so the book would take forever to sell probably if we didn't.
But we don't have that set up on our account where somebody has to pay if we accept their offer. And it has not really caused any issues for us.
I think it's actually benefited me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when a viewer of mine brought it to my attention. I didn't know that I had my account selected to require payment. I think eBay just shifted it over. And I mean, this is months ago, and I was struggling with sales as so many people were, and I deselected it, and immediately I saw a big difference. I remember talking with Arena Vision, and he was critical of that initially, and then he thought about it, and then he tried it, and then he became a believer, because he was like, as soon as he deselected it, he created a video basically doing a better way to teach people how to do it than I did. I just kind of said, do this, go here, do this. And it helps, because people are skeptical about entering in certain information before making the sale, even if they're going to do it anyhow. They just don't like to do that. So I don't have a lot of issues with non-payments, but I know some people do. But
it's very uncommon. I
would rather give people that option to not have to enter that in, buy it, and then if they need to take their time to pay for it, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we are too.
Well, we do have automatic 4-day cancel. So if it's so if somebody doesn't contact us, and we just put their name on a little list that allows them not to, an exemption from that 4-day rule.
It is.
So yesterday was half of our target. Yesterday was half target, but it was, I mean, when I look at these numbers, they're so anemic, they make me want to vomit, but it's enough to pay the bills, so I'm okay with them. But, it's not perfect. But today we've been having an okay day. The day before yesterday, which was what?
Monday.
Monday, Zippo. Zilch.
Yeah, nothing.
The previous Monday, Zippo, Zilch.
Wait, you had a 0 day?
Zero day. Oh, so we've had 2 0 days this month. 3.
Even with the nuclear.
And it's okay. Again, so this year has been a new experiment for us, doing the lower, fracking the hoard, doing the lower value items from our pile. And that includes the 2,000, 4,000, 45s or whatever we have. And but they do sell pretty well. And then it includes the video games in boxes, like Atari cartridges and things. By the way, the new Atari 2600 is coming out. That's a faithful representation of the old one. But the cool thing about it is that they actually use old Atari cartridges.
Disgruntled octopus.
What did he say? I have to go over here.
I had a $13.99 day on Monday here. Also, I had to work the corner.
Look at what I said.
Look at how many hands he has.
Where did you?
He's got a lot of hands, so he could do a good job on the corner.
Where's your comment, hey bro?
I said, is there a big market for octopus porn?
I don't see that yet.
Maybe it was.
Oh no, it hasn't
censored.
I wonder.
Let's see.
Because it's between disgruntled and JL Stanton's comment.
It's not there.
Oh, you got nuked. You got nuclear reset right there.
Oh my God. YouTube, come on.
I didn't even do that. I didn't even.
They better not give me.
Hey, Stoic is here. Hello, Stoic.
Hey.
Welcome to the party.
Wait.
Here, I'll give you a horn.
What's going on, Kevin?
Do we have that filtering thing where you can have YouTube
maybe.
You need to approve it?
I've never seen a comment in there. I've never seen one where you have to approve it because it could be controversial or something. I've never had one show up in that section.
Maybe this will be the first.
Hopefully, yes.
I better not get a timeout again.
Oh no! Give him a timeout. I just whispered it to YouTube. Let's see.
Hey, I have on my show notes. I have a question.
Yes, you're so organized. I love it.
This is nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but you know how AI is learning.
Yeah.
Supposedly. I don't think it's neural network. I think it's just a human entered data. But anyway,
this is my question. If AI is learning, who is overseeing that learning?
AI.
I mean,
AI is overseeing
I understand
itself.
machine learning enough to know that it's taking millions and millions of data points, and it's not really learning. It's just if-then statements. That's the best way I can think of it. So if somebody does this, then do this type thing. And basically you have to sort of, what do you call it when you parse it? You have to parse it all out. So that's what AI is doing. It's parsing all that data, but the rules are set by people. And then AI, so to speak, is actually just executing the rules set by people. And it's not really intelligent. It's artificially, well, what's a good name for it? It's just automatic, but somebody had to program it. So it's not really learning, is it? You say it's learning, but I don't think it's ever going to truly learn the keyword spamming in the current eBay search, where people put in other things trying to get people to look at this. Like in the color, they put, party scent, and they just put something other than the color. They just try to stuff in words.
They're like nachos.
Like nachos. Good example. Thank
I know.
you.
Was it keyword stuffing? I think they call
keyword
it.
stuffing, or spamming. And I don't think that AI is going to take that information and make it better for search. I think it might alert people that there are these problems. Here are the problems. Now tell me what to do to fix these problems. I don't think it learns on its own, but I am dumb. So I don't know. I'm artificially intelligent. But that's what I think.
Another question. If you couldn't do the nuclear reset,
yes, I would still
how do you
do
think
it.
your sales would be right now?
I would still do it. Well,
Good question.
I think I've been doing it straight for 30 days. The benefit at this point is I'm not promoting at all. I think if I stopped doing it, I would see. I don't know if I would see a drop in sales at this time of year. Would I? I might see a drop in page views, impressions, but I think that this time of year it takes care of itself. But I don't know, and I'm not willing to find out.
You don't want to. You don't want to know.
I don't want to know. So I think I need to keep at least the baseline of what I have now. So that's where I'm at.
What were you thinking when Josh was saying that about the end and sell similar?
Well, we had talked about it weeks ago, right? You brought it to my attention, and you asked me what I thought that meant, administratively ending listings. But I made the calculation that it was referring specifically to auctions. Because you can't do that. But ending and sell similar or relisting is right in the relist page. There's a button there that says sell similar. There's a button there that says relist. You can do either one of those. That's not against the rules. I pay for the listings, or they're giving them to me for free, clearly in a contractual,
Stoic reseller. I'm at work hiding under my desk. And his little emoji. Oh my God, that's so cute. That's like Kevin McAllister.
No, who was in, that's like the evil Kevin McAllister, kind of. Or it's Blue, at least. Is Blue evil? Who built the, what movie was it where the guy built like a sleeping shelf into his desk? What was that? It wasn't The Office, was it?
I don't know. It sounds something like a movie with Joaquin Phoenix or something.
Well, he wanted to sleep all the time at work, so he had a carpenter come in and build, I think it was like Nick Cage movie maybe, and he built a thing so he could go under his desk, and then a thing closed, and he had like a little bed down there with some snacks, but no one could really see him, and he was just in there. It was great. Huh. Oh, it was George Costanza on Seinfeld.
That's right.
That's so great. Thanks, Wendy.
Can't stand ya.
That's right. So yes, right. He was working for the Yankees at that time, was it? Or with other company where he got fired. Right, he was trying to get fired. I don't know. I can't
So
think of anything about it. I remember that.
Yeah, in yesterday's video, you were talking about
So much stuff.
Isn't there a way to automate and then sell similar?
I know you could probably do a macro.
Isn't there something, and I'm computer stupid, but maybe somebody in the chat knows, like, isn't there a way that you can create like a program that can perform certain
macros
features? Yeah.
You can do macros. I'm not confident enough to do that with my store like that. So I'd want
what if somebody built it to just end one, do it one at a time, and then you would just try 5 and then kind of see how it goes. And then if it works, then you would just extrapolate it out to do 200 at a time.
Exactly. No, I want somebody to do that. In fact, I demand somebody do that immediately. Oh, look, Stoic. So you can tell this guy knows exactly what's going on. He kind of agrees with me with the fact that AI is not really AI. It's definitely people programming if-then statements. There just happens to be millions of if-then statements. So if this happens, then do this. So it's not really learning. And he's saying that high-end AI is a different class, and that's true. So like even ChatGPT, I mean that's actual AI. What eBay is doing is not a neural network. It's junk, kind of, because you can see the search is broken. And if it was a learning AI, it would have learned. But it doesn't, because people actually have to find the problems and solve them, and then AI will take over once the solution is come up with by the humans.
Right, and with everyone entering in inaccurate information, the eBay AI is just getting bombarded with incorrect
It doesn't even know
stuff.
it's doing the wrong thing. The search doesn't know it's doing the wrong thing. The search is like, yeah, so the color is plaid, and there's a chevron, and it's a grimace shake in Fortnite. It's who knows? It just it kind of thinks that it's doing the right thing unless people find it. Find the problem or alerted to the problem.
MJ was saying it's interesting. Her main eBay account on desktop has no AI, but her smaller eBay store does. No consistency with their updates. Is your smaller eBay store newer? Because we've noticed that
it is. I'll bet you.
With our second smaller store, it's
totally
newer.
Newer interface, different interface particles.
Only 2 years old now?
Yes.
And that gets so many more
features,
updated features that eBay's offering than our
old store
existing
does not.
store, the one that we've had for 20 whatever years.
Yes, it is, she says.
Yeah.
So the new one, so I don't even have, I mentioned this before, I don't have any, I can't use the funds. So like when I get paid, maybe I want to go spend that money in the 24 hours before I can transfer it to my bank account. While it's in whatever I have a 24-hour hold. Do most people have that, or do most people have longer? Is their money held longer than that? Mine's held till the next business day, essentially, which they actually push out till midnight. So really, technically, it's probably 2 days till I can really get my hot little hands on that money. But my small store, I can spend it. So the second it's in there, it's kind of like PayPal used to be, and you could then spend it on stuff, which I would. You can spend it on eBay, not anywhere else. And that's where I bought my stupid candles and everything for too much.
What are you doing, Pokes?
Are you okay, Pokes? Are you inward sneezing?
Hey, everybody, remember to hit that thumbs up.
Oh, yeah, please, everybody. If you feel like subscribing, that would be awesome.
Or thumbs down.
And do not do thumbs down. Never do that.
Just do something.
And thanks for being here.
Yes. Thank you for being here. And I don't care what you do. Just, yes, if you're just part of the conversation and you think I suck, then
you can do the Elaine dance.
Yes, the chicken dance. And but just know that a thumbs down is still a algorithm boost. So.
Exactly.
So. And
Joe's Rare Finds, he also was like, oh, Seinfeld.
Yeah, I'm so glad people remember that, because now I would have been oh wait, so if there's 52 people in here, shouldn't there be 52 likes? We can't really see it. Well, I'm not really looking at the actual. There should be 52 likes. Am I right? Come on. I'm not a big. I'm not a strong talker. I don't like to talk that much. But
what? You're joking me.
I am joking. I like.
We've been on 90 minutes and it feels like 10.
Oh my gosh, we have been. Wow. That happened yesterday too. All of a sudden I'm just like, boy, we could just, have we even touched on all the things we wanted to talk about?
Well, you know what? We just come in these things blind, right?
Yeah. I mean, you had a nice little list.
Anything we didn't touch upon, we'll touch upon next week.
We'll be touching you next week.
Outdoors World says, what if AI is set up for now to do the wrong thing to panic sellers to promote?
eBay did a fine job of that without any robots.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
But this is, eBay is it becoming, or has it always been a social engineering thing? So to encourage us to make sales and everything, they've given us all this data, all this granular data, which the numbers don't even make sense to me all the time. Certainly the percentage numbers that say you're up or down, those are not accurate. I know they're not because I've done some mathematics on it, but I think the overarching overall numbers are probably accurate. Hopefully our money numbers are accurate, but I digress.
Yeah, I mean, it told me that I'm up 13%, so I'm going to go buy a bunch of stuff for Christmas. So
That's
better be right.
On eBay.
Oh, yes. You have to buy everything. If you're an eBay seller, you got to buy everything. Look, eBay doesn't have everything to sell. I use it for collectibles. That's what I use it for. If I want to buy, or packaging tape when they give me a free coupon. But if I want to buy office supplies or something, Amazon's going to be a better deal. There's no doubt about that.
Vintage clothing.
You were talking about all that money that you spend on those rolls. I rarely spend any money on packaging. I have there's a local bookstore I get bubble wrap and packaging materials from. The owner, she's friends with my daughter, and she is so happy that this stuff is getting reused. So it's
but I have to ship this.
Yeah.
This is
I
big.
mean, you might need some special packaging for that.
It's so heavy.
But also, lumber companies are a great source of bubble wrap. Lots of times, this is a pro tip. They always have an extra, abundance amount of bubble wrap. So I get some from my local lumber yard.
There are a myriad ways to get free packaging. And I was shipping bicycles for a while. The weirdest thing is last summer we were driving around our town and all these bicycles said free everywhere.
Well, people were cleaning out their basements during, COVID and would just say free
stuff on the side of the road. And I'm talking like 1990s, not rock hoppers or the really nice ones. There was a Cannondale. There was some high-end Italian, 10 speeds and stuff. Anyway, I sold them on eBay. I grabbed them, made Bridget
So
walk
when you
home with
see
them.
free, does a little thought bubble pop up? Mine.
Yes. No. Bridget, get out of the car right now. Go claim the goods.
He's driving. I'm in La La Land, just I'm a passenger in the car. And he's, sees stuff. He has
Hawkeye.
Terminator,
Oh, I am.
And
I'm like, boop, 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 boop. What is that?
He'll do a U-turn in the middle of the road.
She's like, what's happening? I'm like, you're getting out of the car right now and grabbing these two bikes.
That's our job, is to always be aware of our scenarios. I'll be at Walmart and I'm like, oh, I need this box to package something. I'm always looking for boxes.
Let me just catch up on the things, and then so we can end.
We have a friend that has a printing facility, and
he's our resource.
Once a week, he's like, "Okay, got a stash of boxes."
He's like, "We got some more of that paper gold for you over here." We would come over and grab it. So Good Karma Antiques, just because you don't believe in sacrificing a chicken before listing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is
doesn't mean you
some
have
crazy stuff in here.
Is people being silly? I love it.
AI can do nuclear resets. That would be awesome, actually. Alexa, can you do my nuclear reset tomorrow morning?
Wouldn't it be nice if eBay just programmed in a nuclear reset for you to do every day?
Do you want to just do that? Just a little bomb right in the corner. It was a turkey, and he put it back. That was stoic. I wasn't following that whole thread. I created a store a couple of months. Okay, that was months ago. Wait, that was Jack saying that. Like, and can't things I can with my old store. Can't do things I can with his old store. Can't do shipping policies. Ooh, that's not fun because you.
I just got the AI on Maria's store, and I still don't have it on mine.
Your older store, and then the Maria's is the newer store.
No, yeah. Maria's is the newer one.
So the newer ones is so feature rich. I don't know what the deal is with that. MJ says, I reached out and tried to link my stores to get them increased on a smaller one, and they said it doesn't work that way. They threw me a bone with 2,000, even though I have obvious sales history.
She was saying how she has 2 stores, and one of them.
If she could get a bump in, so she wouldn't have to start at 0 on it.
Yes, so,
is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
Because they did.
That's awfully nice of them.
It doesn't
do that.
Usually they don't do that. They're like, oh, you're starting a new store. You just have to start at 0 and wait 6 months till you can even get your money out. Or, I think it was like a week at the very beginning before we could get our money out. Now it's just a day again. But remember, we had to wait for a while.
Yeah, we had to have X amount of sales before they were releasing the money in 24 hours or whatever.
And Jeff Fixer says, nice to see people smiling.
It really is. I agree.
I try to smile as much as possible in the misery. In the middle of the misery. It's just in the middle of a battlefield. Yay, eBay, you're my hero. Wait, La Cucina de Papa. I am so hungry just from saying that. Is talking the way to a pretty girl. Is talking the way to a pretty girl. Yes, you're going to have to speak to them. I don't know what he's referring to exactly.
I have a thought.
Yes.
And it's bringing it back to district.
Yes.
You pointed out that Commonwealth and 88 Days American Arbitrage, they have a
trash to cash people.
If you think about it, they all 3 of their YouTube channels are mapped.
They're good, yeah.
And if they are on district, is that suggesting that their eBay sales are slumping?
Oh, well, they most certainly in the few times that I've listened, recently to them, because about I would say at least 30-40% of them is just capping on Commonwealth Picker. But I have listened through, and they have spoken of slowdowns in their sales, but I think they don't really talk about it in the sense that
real life.
Yes, yeah, they're not offering solutions or saying anything. But
they're not in wave 3.
They're not in wave. They're part. Well, I think they were at the beginning of wave.
They're
3.
wave 2.5.
Thank you. That sounds good. Yes, we are wave 3, the ones that try to offer some sort of effect. We want to affect the eBay. I mean, if we could all hold hands and do the exact same affectation to our stores, maybe, it might make a blip on the radar of eBay saying, I don't know if it would though.
But my point is, and I'm going to add another point, is I noticed ADH just recently started selling on Posh.
Who did?
ADH
Okay, so I do remember him saying that he got banned or he got banned, not banned, that's not the right word. He listed a whole bunch of stuff on Poshmark, and then they said he couldn't list anymore for a while.
Yes, but he that's the same one I watched. It's the first video I've watched of his in probably months, but it just got me thinking about the following that they have on YouTube. And anytime you got to go, just let me know. The following that they have on YouTube is massive, especially all 3 of them combined.
Yeah, they're in the 20 to 30 to 50. I mean, maybe that's like sort of.
And I know
range.
Commonwealth gets a ton of viewer sales. I think ADHD does as well. Mm-hmm. And if these guys are who already probably have inflated eBay sales because of their viewer sales, and they're feeling the need to expand into district and Posh, what does that say?
Well,
did we hit
things?
Yeah.
Well, I feel too it's maybe a different buyer in district, or I don't know if eBay has a lot of young people shopping on it, and these new platforms, think might. And
well, I know
that's
that
another reason to,
Commonwealth
check out other
and
platforms.
ADH Dave kind of sell, they're everything sellers. While the third guy, American Arbitrage, is primarily a card seller, which is interesting to me because I think his cards are suffering because the whole card thing kind of didn't fully implode, but it's definitely depressed.
Yeah.
And the other two sell stuff that's not necessary. I don't think I would say it certainly is not going to go in the pop culture. It's just a lot of stuff that they're selling, and from when I've looked at what they're selling, and I think that they have to have felt the eBay downturn. And Jack is saying exactly what I've been saying since the beginning, which is 50%. And I don't know everyone's saying that. I don't know if everyone's reading the numbers or if I'm reading the numbers right, but last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, you took it away. eBay. They took away half of my heart. So, I don't know. It's definitely better than half now, but it's nowhere close. Never regained from June. And
Kent Hamilton said, I just did my reset today. I went from once a month to once a week to every other day now. It really is the only way to sell anything these days. Whatever you do, don't tell anybody about this.
I will never invent the nuclear reset and tell everyone about it. I'm sure someone else has tried it, but I did actually coin the nuclear reset because it was very nuclear. Now, the nuclear reset, the proper nuclear reset includes the bullet points of no promotions and do not end and relist your watched items. Not every day. So never get rid of, if you have offers out on something, never redo those. And then if you probably have more watchers than you have offers out, give those a couple of days or a week for someone to, in case they just put it in their cart and then aren't going to.
I actually think your concept to not ever get rid of watchers is very important now. I've really come around to this based on what you said about somebody messaging you say, why does this keep deleting? And so we want to avoid raising any red flags with eBay. And I think by keeping your watchers, it's not deleting the listings that are already watchers that could possibly go, like that person's going to get another alert again.
Yes,
if they're watching it,
that I've relisted. Yeah, exactly, and that gave us
more important now to not
raise waves if possible.
I also want to point out too. I believe. Hey, that was weird. That if you have store followers, I think they get notifications. So not just an item watcher, but store followers. I think they get notifications when you're relisting stuff.
Yes.
And I only know that because we got an email from eBay saying a store we follow listed 20 new items. And so I instantly thought, oh boy, I wonder if the followers we have are getting emails every day saying, the store has just relisted 2,000 new items.
We got two people who were like, why are you relisting things all the time? One of them was a seller saying,
I can appreciate your efforts or something like that.
Yes. One person said, I really appreciate your efforts trying to keep your store active and going. But what did he want?
They don't even know.
They don't know.
But he was just, but he pointed out that he kept getting notifications or something.
This is also the
and I
thing
said
about,
we need to keep track of how many followers we have to see if we're losing any.
Oh, followers on eBay?
On the eBay.
It was a suggestion from somebody that at first I blocked the two people that actually sent me that because I thought maybe they wouldn't get the notification that I was relisting if I blocked them. I don't think that prevents them from getting that notification.
Yeah, I don't think
But they now blocked, so I don't hear from them. So at least I got that going for me. I did look up my name, and on Wiki, it does not come up with... oh my gosh, it does. Primo Kimo. Well, I did say Wiki, but it does come up with a nuclear reset. Oh, that's cool. Very important with the nuclear codes that I have shared with everyone. Well, you guys, I mean, we're probably going to wind. We should just finish these comments. Can I finish them?
Yeah, go through the comments.
Okay. My Walmart managed. Okay, that's probably a joke, right?
No,
No, it's not.
No, it's
My
not.
Walmart manager told me they won't give out cardboard boxes. And why?
And maybe the labels, people don't tear off the label. Who knows? They're,
But what are they?
happens.
So they just go in the baler and they just get recycled. But okay.
Somebody sued them because they got a cardboard
Yes,
cut.
they cut themselves. Something stupid like that happened. I'll bet you. But that sucks. I don't like that. Let's see. Then there's this Hayfro guy, LOLK, who got throttled. ADH Dave on Posh listing a ton in a single day. Yes, and he got somehow stopped. He couldn't list anymore for a day.
I guess you can't do the nuclear on Posh then.
Well, I don't even know if you have to do. You wouldn't have to, because these other sites don't have. They're hungry, right? They're trying to get sales to happen. eBay is the only, and the one that we put all of our time into is the only platform.
They're like, you know what? We're full.
Yeah, we're
We don't
fine.
need
Just it's crazy.
I'm just a little peckish.
It's totally crazy, but that's true. I prefer to reset the lot. I give them a 15-minute head start before I destroy their offer. That's funny, but you shouldn't, because their offer is sometimes it takes 2 days. That happens often where I'll give out an offer, and at least here in the US it's a 48-day. You used to be able to say if the offer was good for 12 hours, 24 hours, and 48 hours. Now that is beta testing. So they're giving you options, and then when they figure out the beta test, they take away the options, and only the one thing remains, the one that they decided is good. Oh, wait, here, Smile Time Gift says Walmart managers said they have expected recycling quotas they need to make.
Wow, interesting.
I wonder, because they must have a nationwide recycler that they have to give all the boxes to.
Or
because, one of the things way back
they get some sort of cut from the government if they recycle X amount of, who knows? Who knows?
I bet you it's much more like they're making a deal with a nationwide recycler. Oh. And because remember when we used to take way back in time, this was the golden age of junk. Before, like maybe in the 2000s, beginning of 2000s, I was the computer recycler in our town. There wasn't one. And so people used to bring me Apple computers by the Gaylord. I mean, I cleaned out banks of, and at the time, these were, I want to say they were micros Pentium 2s, which were still valid computers. This shows how long ago this was. And I went and cleared out a bank and a couple other places, and the office furniture guy who got the contract to clean out the offices got all the furniture. He didn't want the electronics. I just took it all. So, I mean, I just got everything for free and made $1 million. But what that just reminds me of how when you sign, then we got an electronic recycler, and the first day they offered electronic recycling, there was a 2-mile line outside of the recycling place. So you and I, wasn't it you? Didn't you do this? And it could have been somebody else. And we went down the line because people had trucks. They had vintage speakers and electronic, great stereo systems, old ones. And we got them. So we just went down the line while they were waiting in line to go into the dump to drop them off at the organized electronic recycler. Yeah, because you were at work, because I was doing all the cool stuff. So I got all these speakers and stuff, and then all of a sudden, the place, the municipal dump where this place was, came by and said, you can't take the stuff from these people who are in line to get to our place to drop it off. Because
they wanted it.
Because they wanted it. All of a sudden, it became a commodity.
Do you store the nuclear reset codes in the bathroom?
I do. I store them. I've got them. No, I have the 2 keys right here, and then the little, you break open the thing and the whole thing. I've got like 1960s nuclear codes. Okay, that's it. We're not going to talk anymore.
We're done.
We're done because we have to end.
This is the longest one ever.
It is. But thank you guys all so much for being here and spending this time with us. I hope.
Yes.
I'm sure I don't know if we've answered anything, but we've certainly talked about stuff.
Talked your ear off.
Yes. And we really
sell it on eBay.
Thank you guys for hosting. Thank you guys for watching.
Yes, and we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And we'll
2:30 Pacific,
2:30 Eastern. I mean, you can tune in. You can actually, if I had the actual stream up, you could tune in 3 hours early and just sit there. You like that, where you can chat with people ahead of time?
Bye-bye.
Adios, amigos.
Aloha.
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 Love you.
Thanks for